The ancient lake lay perfectly still beneath a twilight sky stained with the final embers of sunset mist. Thick and silent as a held breath, crept across the dark water. Swallowing the distant shores whole, Elara stood alone on the weathered wooden dock, its timbers groaning softly under her weight. A fragile connection to the solid world, she felt slipping away. She clutched a single white feather in her cold fingers, a relic from a life vibrant with laughter and light, now extinguished. The profound silence was broken only by the gentle, rhythmic lapping of water against the pilings, a sound that seemed to echo the hollow ache within her chest. She had walked for days guided by whispers and fragmented legends, drawn to this desolate place by a desperate, almost foolish, hope whispered on the wind. The legend of Avalon's Last Ferry, a passage offered only when the heart could bear no more the loss of her daughter, Lyra, a bright spark taken too soon by a fever that raged like wildfire, had carved a canyon through Elara's soul. Each sunrise was a torment, a reminder of the light missing from the world's sleep offered no refuge, only dreams filled with Lyra's laughter fading into an unbearable silence. Upon waking, the vibrant colors of the world had bled into shades of gray. Food tasted like ash, and the comforting touch of friends felt distant. Muffled by the thick glass of her grief, she had left her village without a word, a ghost drifting towards the lake known in hushed tones as the threshold, driven by a story told by her own grandmother, a story of a ferryman who came only once, offering a journey not to death, but to a place beyond sorrow, where lost loves might be glimpsed, if only for a moment. Suddenly, the thick mist ahead swirled and parted, not blown by any wind Elara could feel, but as if yielding to an unseen presence. From the pully gloom emerged a long, low boat, crafted from wood so dark it seemed to drink the fading light. It moved silently, without oars or sail, gliding towards the dock with impossible grace. At its stern stood the ferryman. He was neither young nor old. His face held the stillness of deep water and ancient stone, etched with lines that spoke of witnessing countless sorrows. His eyes, deep and fathomless as the lake itself, met Elara, holding neither pity nor judgment, only a profound, quiet understanding that seemed to see straight into the raw wound of her heart. He wore simple, dark robes that blended with the twilight and the boat itself. Elara felt no fear, only a vast, trembling anticipation that vibrated through her very bones. This was the moment the legend spoke of without a word. The ferryman extended a hand, pale and long-fingered, towards the empty space beside him on the boat. His silent question hung heavy in the misty air. Elara's breath caught, her knuckles white around the small feather. Could she truly step away from the world she knew, however broken it felt? Could she leave behind the memories tied to physical places, the scent of Lyra's hair on her pillow? Yet the crushing weight of her grief, the unbearable emptiness of every waking moment, pressed upon her, a physical force urging her forward. The silent invitation offered a promise, however elusive, of respite from the relentless pain. The Ferryman's voice, when it finally came, was like stones gently shifting in deep water, calm and resonant. This passage is for those whose burden of grief has become the very air they breathe, he intoned, his gaze unwavering. Avalon lies beyond the veil of mortal tears. It is a place of profound peace, where sorrow is soothed like a storm calmed. But know this, traveler, the ferry sails only once. To step aboard is to release your hold on the world you leave behind. There is no returning the shores of Avalon. Welcome only those ready to relinquish the anchor of their past life. His words settled over Elara, a chilling truth wrapped in the promise of solace. The finality of his statement echoed in the silent expanse of the lake. Elara looked down at the small white feather in her hand, a tangible piece of Lyra, a symbol of innocence. Lost tears, hot and silent, traced paths down her cold cheeks. not tears of fresh grief, but of a profound, aching farewell. She understood now Avalon wasn't about finding Lyra again in the flesh. It was about finding a place where the searing pain of her absence could finally transform, where the love could exist without the constant, debilitating agony of loss. She had carried her grief like a crushing stone now. Standing at the water's edge, with the silent ferryman waiting, she realized stepping onto the dark boat meant setting that stone down into the deep, dark water forever. It meant letting go, not of Lyra, but of the suffocating weight of her sorrow. Taking a shuddering breath that felt like her first true breath in months, Elara raised her head. She met the Ferryman's ancient, knowing eyes and saw not an end, but a strange, quiet kind of beginning reflected there, with a final glance towards the shadowed shore, the world that held only echoes and pain. She stepped forward, her boot touched the dark, smooth wood of the boat. It felt solid, real, yet thrummed with a subtle energy as she settled onto the simple bench. A profound sense of calm, fragile yet undeniable, began to seep into her bones, replacing the icy dread that had resided there for so long. The ferryman gave no sign, but the boat immediately began to glide backwards, away from the dock, slipping soundlessly into the embrace of the mist. The dark water swallowed the reflection of the world behind her, and Elara closed her eyes, holding the white feather gently against her heart. No longer a weight, but a cherished memory carried lightly into the luminous unknown. The mist closed around them, leaving the empty dock behind, silent once more beneath the twilight sky.